Hello everyone, I want to welcome you today. My name is Robert Craven. I'm the founder of Scale Passion, and today I'm here with your weekly challenge. And today we're going to talk about scheduling your year. Sounds pretty funny, I'm sure, but I tell you, it's one of the most effective things you can do to be an effective leader. Schedule your year. Why do we even want to talk about scheduling a year? I can tell you, myself included, that entrepreneurs can be a little bit schizophrenic from the standpoint of the fact that your moods affect your business. The mood you're in, whether you're in a good mood or a bad mood, the way you show up, the energy you show up with to your business is very important to the employees around you, and it's also very important as far as generating the right kind of attitude and momentum in your business. I can tell you that when things are going bad for me, things tend to go bad for my business, and I'm sure that that applies to you if you're a Change the World entrepreneur, at least at some point. I can tell you that what your employees need, especially if you've got a larger staff, more than 5, better than 10, if you're more than 50 especially, they need some consistency, they need clarity, they need focus, and they especially need rhythm. Setting a rhythm allows for you to make a very comfortable atmosphere for your employees. It allows for you to bring them together and let them know what's expected in a standard and unique way. I can tell you that most entrepreneurs are very smart, and as a result of that, they're always thinking. And lots of times when they think too much, they can bring their entrepreneurs into a room and start envisioning with them. And this can be very, very disconcerting for your employees because it just throws everything out of rhythm, and they feel like they can't really establish a flow that can help the company grow. So I get asked quite a lot by the folks that I coach, what do you mean by scheduling your year? What are the kinds of things I need to schedule? So let's take a look at that real quick. We've created this chart here, and it's all around building meetings. Now, I know meetings can be a bad word in some places, but I got to tell you, when you schedule a meeting, the beautiful thing about it is if you do it right and you schedule right, the wonderful thing about scheduling a meeting is that it becomes your deadline. It becomes a milestone that you can shoot for. It also tells your employees, we're going to talk about X at this time, which allows them to prepare and to not be shocked or kind of taken off guard by any of the things that you might be trying to accomplish. So let's take a look at the meetings in a little bit more depth here. I can tell you that meetings are absolutely wonderful for building culture. The first thing we'll look at here is, and this might be a little hard to see on your screen, but this line item right here is called monthly strategic meetings. Now, monthly strategic meetings, I like to schedule on the third. During the third week of each month. You can see the little red balls here. The third week allows you to close out your financial statements. So what you want to do in that third week is review your financials, set aside a couple of hours with the key members of your team, review your financial statements, and review any major strategic issues that you might be facing. Now, the second one here, actually, the one that's not even mentioned in terms of having a dot or any kind of icon, is your weekly tacticals. You should be having a 45-minute to 1 hour, no more meeting with your direct reports every week to talk about what happened last week and what's happening this week. And there's some good blogs on scalepassion.com on how to run a weekly meeting. The best book I've seen for all of these meetings is a book by Patrick Lencioni called Death by Meeting. Buy it, live it, learn it, love it. It's a fantastic way to drive your organization, and a lot of that is baked into what I'm recommending here. These weekly tacticals are all about talking very specifically about what it is you want to accomplish in the upcoming week. If there's big strategic issues you want to cover, you need to push that into your monthly strategic, okay? Your monthly strategic meeting that happens the third week of every month. Now, next I've got retreats here, and if you've listened to me talk at all, you know I'm a huge fan of retreats. You can see I typically schedule retreats first week of May, first or second week of October. And what you want to do is get together for 2 days in an offsite. Typically I do a Friday, Saturday, and talk about the next 6-month period. So for example, if you're doing the first week of May, you want to be talking about the July through December period that's coming up. It also gives you a chance to reground yourself strategically on your 3-year vision, your 3-year roadmap. So go ahead and schedule in your 2-day retreats every 6 months. Now the next icon I've got here is called open meetings. Now twice a quarter, let's just say, 6 times a year, I would do what I would call an open meeting or a breakfast with Robert, where I would go into a facility, sit down, and we have multiple facilities when I was CEO, but every 4 to 6 weeks, every 8 weeks at the most, sit down and ask the employees what's on their mind. Let them tell you exactly what's on their mind. Make it an open meeting. It gives you an opportunity to really stress the strategy, to hear from your employees, no agenda, and just let them talk to you. So go ahead and schedule in those open meetings. If you've got multiple facilities, schedule it at each facility. If you've got one facility, just schedule a breakfast with breakfast with the CEO. Bring in some bagels and coffee. 8 o'clock in the morning. People will show up early and they'll tell you what's on their mind. So schedule that twice a quarter. Now I've got town hall meetings here, and we schedule those twice a year, typically in the 4th week of a new period. And what we're doing here in the 4th week of January or the 4th week of July is we're reviewing the previous 6 months' objectives and accomplishments. So a town hall meeting means everybody comes together to talk. So we get everybody in a room. Sometimes it might be hard to do, so we might have some folks on conference call or by video webinar. But the point is that you get everybody together twice a year, talk about the accomplishments from the previous 6 months, lay the foundation for the next 6 months, celebrate anniversaries, hand out bonus checks, whatever it is, put together an hour-and-a-half meeting to communicate to the entire organization, make sure everybody's on track. The next one here is performance reviews and salary reviews. Now, I happen to be of the school of thought that you separate performance reviews and salary reviews. I think salary is really based on experience, skill, and tenure, for example. I think performance is more specific to the previous 6 months' objectives for an individual. So I schedule performance reviews in February and August. That gives you plenty of time to recap the previous 6 months. I also like to ask for performance reviews to be driven by the employee, so that gives them time to think through what they want to talk to you about. Set aside an hour, go ahead and schedule it February and August for your performance reviews with each of your direct reports, and then their direct reports need to schedule the same thing with them. Salary reviews we do once a year. Now, as CEO, I've taken over 2 companies that actually did salary reviews on an employee's anniversary. I can tell you this isn't scalable. You need to do salary reviews once a year. I recommend doing it in the 2nd, 3rd week of November, and then every couple of years you want to benchmark your salaries. So that you're benchmarking against an HR provider that can give you real detailed information on what the right salaries are. By separating salary reviews and performance reviews, you're setting your salary as your baseline for an employee versus performance, which should be more specific to profit sharing or bonus or whatever you might do in that regard. Those are big, deep topics, but go ahead and schedule them. So just to recap, schedule your weekly tactical meetings, make it a standing weekly meeting. Schedule your monthly meetings. It's the 3rd Wednesday of every month. We're going to have dinner, for example. We're going to talk for 3 or 4 hours on strategic issues and review the financials and review our objectives. Schedule your retreats every 6 months. I like May and October. Schedule your open meetings where you just show up and listen. Schedule your town hall meetings twice a year, January and July. Review the previous 6 months. Schedule your performance reviews every 6 months. I like to do performance reviews every 6 months in February and August. And then schedule your salary reviews in November. This culture, this structure, if you establish this structure and you go ahead and schedule your year, I tell you, you'll drive better rhythm, you'll get better clarity and focus, you'll get better coordination from your employees. Everybody will feel secure in the knowledge that they know what's expected, know what to expect, when to expect it, and you'll really start to feel the benefits of rhythm, especially if you're a high-growth entrepreneur. By scheduling your year today, you will see immediate benefits right away. So I'm Robert Craven, the founder of Scale Passion. That was your weekly challenge for this week, and I appreciate any feedback you might have. Feel free to go to scalepassion.com and hit the Contact Us button, and I'd be happy to supply you anything you need or answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much. Have a great week.